I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome everybody to the 2022 Coach Terry Bocian AQ Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. My name is John Danielson, and I will be your MC for tonight's event. I am the public address announcer for the men's and women's volleyball and men's and women's basketball teams, and normally sit right about over there for about 40 to 50 games a season. I'm excited to be here with you all tonight. We have a great group of athletes and a Lifetime Achievement Award winner and a team induction that's going to cap off tonight's 2022 Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. But before we get things started this evening, I'd like to welcome Father Bob Keller to join us in prayer.
Wow. That really caused a silence. Well, let us pray. O God, great and full of love and vitality, we are wonderfully and mysteriously created. Sharing in your image, we are awed by the power of excellence. And this evening, we as Aquinas saints pause to recall some of those who have excelled among us. Jackie, Aaron, Natalie, Amy, Gio, Mike, the men's soccer team of 1980. We install them in accord with Coach Bo in his house, who excelled in leadership here at Aquinas for over 40 years. But these honorees demonstrate more than native athletic ability, but models of discipline of mind and body. And they show us how to compete, learning to have courage in the challenge, regardless of the outcome, and to learn to accept winning and losing as part of life, even as you walk with us in the times of our lives, winning or losing. May we acknowledge the graces given us, whether exceptional or so-called ordinary. Most of all, may we learn the beautiful ways of caring for one another, of offering goodwill to all and to our competitors, and of hope that this world yearns for pathways of peace forged in grace. In thanks, then, we pray through our great leader, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
As the public address announcer here at Aquinas, the traditional pregame responsibilities include the saying of the prayer and the playing of the national anthem. Well, tonight's event is not actually a sporting event. We wanted to take advantage of a unique opportunity. One of tonight's inductees is well known in the area for playing the harmonica during the national anthem at West Michigan Whitecaps games, as well as throughout his storied career here at Aquinas. He has agreed to bring back this tradition. Please join me in welcoming to the stage this soon-to-be individual Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Mike Dean. Mike and I have spent many evenings sitting next to each other during home volleyball and basketball games over the years. It's a very special honor to have Mike here with us again this evening. And now I will lean on my traditional pregame script by asking you all please to rise if you are able. The privilege of this game is made possible by those who have fought and continue to fight for the freedoms we all enjoy. Let us now honor and respect their efforts and our country by at attention, placing your hand over your heart, and proudly singing the national anthem as performed by Mr. Mike Dean. Well done, Mike. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. That was fantastic, and it brought back a lot of great memories. At this time, will the past individual Hall of Fame inductees from 2002 to 2021 please report to the main gym doors to prepare for a special ceremony? Again, if you are a past individual Hall of Famer, please report to DJ Foster near the back of the corner of the main gym at this time. Now let's begin tonight's festivities with a few words from the new Aquinas College president, Dr. Alicia Cordova.
You all can do a better applause than that, can't you? Because if you want me at your games, you want me screaming for you. Anyway, as you know, I'm the 9th president here. I am so honored and so humbled to follow the legacy of the sisters and the previous presidents before me, to help continue the legacy of this amazing, blessed and graced institution of Aquinas College. I am absolutely pleased to welcome you here to this weekend to celebrate Homecoming 2022. It's an honor to meet all of you. It's great to see you all, and I look forward to seeing you throughout the weekend. We gather here this evening for a number of reasons. We are here to celebrate, of course, the outstanding careers of our inductees who excelled on the court, on the field, on the track, and even behind the scenes with our Lifetime Achievement winner. You're all wonderful representatives of Aquinas College, and I'm very much looking forward to hearing more about it from you, although I've talked to many of you already about the great accomplishments you've had, and for those of you who are yet to come forward, I know you all end up being inductees one day. Congratulations to all of you. Very soon, each and every one of you I want to see as Hall of Famers. I'm also here to remind everybody how important, although you particularly know, how important athletics is not only to you, but to all of us here at Aquinas College. Whether you're an inductee, a parent or spouse, a coach, a former athlete, or just a sports fan like me, college athletics plays such an important role in the lives of our student athletes and our beautiful campus. This event, as you know, and I hope you all bid on some of those things out there, otherwise I owe a lot of money because I bid on all of them, that it's a way to raise money to enhance our student athletic experience and to provide them with the wonderful opportunities throughout the year and when their teams reach the postseason time. At this time, I'd like to share my sincere thanks to a wonderful man I met this evening, Terry Bocian. Can you stand with your wife? Yes, you can stand too, Mrs. Bocian. Thank you. As you know, they are the namesake of this awesome event. And someone who dedicated more than 40 years to building the incredible athletic programs we have here today at Aquinas College. Thank you so much. As it says here, go Coach Bo. Thank you for what you've done and continue to do for Aquinas. As you can see, your legacy continues to definitely plays on. Again, can we give him another round of applause? Now, I mentioned a few things on the first day. We had all the athletes on campus. And so I was asked to share a little bit about that. Although many of you may be or may not be aware that I am a musician. I'm an oboist. I'm not a brilliant harmonica player, as we heard Mike Dean play today. But I was also an intramural softball player in college. I was not in the athletic teams, but I had a lot of our friends from my dorm when we put a team together. Now, granted, as a musician, I always had to fear catching the ball because if I broke a finger, that was the end of that. So they put me way in the outfield, but I was an amazing hitter. So we had a great team. I was also a mom of a volleyball player. My daughter was in volleyball from 3rd grade and throughout high school. And I was that mom that my daughter used to have to get mad at me because I would scream so much on their behalf that I almost got kicked out all the time at the fields. So I want to be able to do that for you on your courts, in the fields, and wherever you're also playing. I love doing that for her, and I actually wish in a lot of ways she would have come to a school like Aquinas because she would have had the amazing experience you all have because she did play volleyball still in college, but not on a team, with the RAs that she loved to work and be with. So in closing, I'd like to say again that I'm honored and actually humbled to be here with you as your president tonight. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Again, if the bidding's still open, continue to bid, or I owe a lot of money back to the school. And remember, it's a great day to be a saint. So we can say together, I'll go Saints, and 1, 2, 3. So I'll go Saints. 1, 2, 3, go Saints. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Cordova, and welcome to Aquinas College. Glad to have you here. Before this year's class is inducted into the Hall of Fame, we would like to honor some previous inductees and have them come back to join us for tonight's ceremony. Since 2002, there have been 64 individual inductees into the AQ Athletic Hall of Fame. We want to recognize those individuals who have returned to Aquinas tonight in our parade of past Hall of Famers. We will start with our class of 2005. From men's soccer, Mauro Caraprucio. Also from 2005, men's soccer, Mike Hagan. From 2007, men's golf, Dan Pupil. From 2007, baseball, Jesse Young. From 2009, baseball, Rick Huvelman. From 2009, softball, Mary Takis. From 2014, men's tennis, Jerry Hendrick. From 2015, baseball, Tim Sullivan. From 2021, women's track and field, Vicki Sackett. And last but definitely not least, the man this event has been named after, the very successful longtime AQ athletic director and head baseball coach, a 2017 Aquinas Athletic Hall of Fame inductee, Coach Bo, Terry Bocian. You know, I think that's a fantastic tradition, and I hope that continues for many years to come. And I would love to see those numbers increase from year to year. It's wonderful to have the past inductees back with us. Thank you all again to the past inductees for joining us tonight. We appreciate your support and for allowing us the opportunity to recognize you here tonight. We hope to continue this parade in future Athletic Hall of Fames. Thank you again for being here this evening. At this time, please join me in welcoming Director of Athletics, Nick Davidson.
Welcome. Glad to see all of you here today to the 2022 Coach Terry Bocian Athletic Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And thank you for choosing to support our athletes by attending this event. And I hope that you've been enjoying the celebration, including participating in our silent auction. There are a lot of great items out there, and I wish you all good luck. This event is important to us for a lot of reasons. First, this event is about community. Community is one of our 4 Dominican pillars: prayer, study, service, and community, that we hold dear to us here at Aquinas. Community was built on road trips, in the weight room, and in huddles. Whether you played in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, or even further back, you have memories of this community that will last a lifetime. Tonight, you have been able to reconnect with your teammates and coaches, reliving memories about early morning practices, traveling to games, grueling workouts. Celebrating those moments and memories together is what makes the AQ community so great. And we look forward to celebrating those memories at this event and many more years to come. The second reason why we are so glad to have you here tonight is the support for this event, and your contributions make it possible for our student athletes to prepare for and participate in their national championship competitions. They're an important part of the student athlete experience. Last year, 12 of our teams competed in their national championships. And it costs a great deal of money to send them and to make sure that they can get there and have their experience that they worked so hard to earn. This helps support that, and so thank you. Aquinas has won many championships during the past 50 years, and we are recognizing some of those inductees tonight. With your support, we hope to continue that winning tradition for the next 50 years and beyond. The third reason this night is so special is the reason we are all here to recognize, first, the past Hall of Fame inductees, which we just did in that great parade moments ago, and of course, to induct our newest class of Hall of Fame to join those ranks. This year, we are recognizing a class of 6 highly decorated individuals and a team from back in 1980. Your accomplishments will live on and set a great example for our current and our future students. And finally, the last reason why this particular night means so much to the college is that through this event, the Coach Terry Bocian AQ Athletic Hall of Fame, we are able to continue to honor a legend. He has a vision to find a way to tell stories of our teams, coaches, and players, and to share the importance of the student-athlete experience at Aquinas, and to show what a difference our community can make together. There is no doubt about it, Aquinas Athletics is a part of Coach Bo's legacy, and there is no one that this event should be named after more than Coach Bo. And now you can hear more about that legacy in Coach Bo's own words.
Serving the college for 43 years, 38 years as athletic director, beginning in 1978. Coached the baseball team for 30 years, and coached the basketball program for 13 years. 6 of those as a head coach, and also was a tenured faculty member in the Health, Physical Education, and Recreation Department. When I took over as AD, we had 8 certainly 9 sports. When I walked out the door, we had 27. When I left, we were sponsoring sports that I initially didn't know much about. I didn't know that there were 16 different ways to boil a bowling alley for competition. I always thought everyone as the challenges of running higher institutions grow, the opportunity through a variety of sports to attract students that may want to be an accountant, but also may want the opportunity to try to play soccer or volleyball. I think small college athletics has become more important than it ever was. I mean, we've had some pretty good people come through here. They have done things not only locally, but regionally, and on a national basis. I can give you hundreds of names of people that have been successful in education and business, in all lines of work. They've given back. And I think Aquinas has always made that a model that we've been given certain things, and we must in return give to others. So I think it's important to honor our past student athletes and teams, because number one, there are many that deserve to be recognized. Number two, it is an opportunity to tell our story in the community, in the college family. There were 3 groups on campus that wanted to put a vehicle in place that would honor past and present Aquinas College saints. One group was the Historical Commission. The second group was the Alumni Association that had recognized an alum or 2 every year with an award. And then, of course, the athletic department has continued to grow. We've had so many success stories, both while the student athletes were here and after they left to go on and do great things. We felt it was the right time to not only start recognizing people, but also to give our current students and student athletes an insight into all the success stories that have come through this campus. Given the scope of how the program has grown, there had to be a larger opportunity to recognize our quality people in the variety of schools. This is about all the great people that we have honored since, I believe, 2004, and all the future people that we're going to honor, because there are so many success stories that have come through Aquinas that need to be told. And I'm very indebted to the current administration and to Nick Davidson and his staff for being able to make this a standalone event, because it gives us the opportunity to encompass so many more about people. I always wanted to teach and coach. There were other opportunities, other things I could have done, but it was just the right fit for me. One time in my career, I had over 150 former players that were teachers, coaches, principals, guidance counselors, as well as all of those that went into the business field and did tremendous things. Well, I'm humbled. I'm honored. It's a great recognition, but I don't want for 1 second for people to think that this is about me. I'm deeply honored, but it is not about me. It is about them and all those in the future that are going to be recognized. I hope my legacy is that the number one, I treated people the way that I want to be treated, and that I tried to embrace the staff, to give them the credit they deserve. Sometimes when you're on the front of the line, you get the credit, but it's not about you. It is about who you surround yourself with. And I think we did a pretty good job of getting the people around us that we want to have here. It begins with your family. It begins with your support help that you get. And God bless me, the guardian angel, my wife, my kids, homeless people. I think that probably should be part of anybody's list. Your family, your people you work with, your community. We've been very active in the community. It's a great community. You gotta get back. You gotta get back.
Pretty tough act to follow. We've recognized some past Aquinas Athletic Hall of Famers and are joined by Coach Bo himself on this wonderful night. Now it's time to add a new group of inductees into the Coach Terry Bocian Athletic Hall of Fame. We start on the hardwood for our first inductee tonight, a women's basketball player from 2003 to 2007, Jackie Raspenix. Jackie is easily one of the top players in Aquinas women's basketball history. In 2006, she was named the WAC Player of the Year after averaging more than 18 points and nearly 7 rebounds per game, and leading the league with 68 blocked shots. Jackie led the Saints to the 2006 regular season championship with a 13-1 conference record. She was also named an NAIA All-American in 2006, an accomplishment which she repeated in 2007. That year, she posted nearly identical numbers, 17 points and 6.5 rebounds per game.
Hello and good evening. I'm truly honored to join the group of Hall of Famers and be inducted in the 2022 class. Thank you to the Aquinas Athletic Department and the Hall of Fame Nomination Committee for my nomination and for providing this event for all of us this evening. Tonight's induction gave me another excuse to reminisce and reflect on my time here at Aquinas. What's interesting is that I was exposed to Aquinas before my basketball career ever began. I first stepped foot on campus over 20 years ago as a sophomore in high school. I was at Ravenna High School, and we attended Coach Albro's Camp of Champions, a week of basketball conditioning, skills, team bonding, and games taking place in the old field house. We played all week, we slept in St. Joe's, and we ate at Weggy. Returning to campus and the Camp of Champions became a highly anticipated event for me and my teammates as I returned for both my junior and senior years. When it came time to choose where I wanted to attend college and play basketball, Aquinas was the easy choice for me, as it felt like home. It felt like home then, and it still does today. It's been 15 years since I've graduated from Aquinas, and at that point, the majority of the games, big wins, and stats have become a blur. What I remember most and best are my teammates and all the memories made away from the court. Those bonds that are formed during early morning conditioning sessions, eating every meal together, weekend festivities, bus rides, and while pretty much spending the majority of our lives together. Those are memories I cherish the most. Many of my collegiate teammates have been and will be lifelong friends. I find so much joy in following their journeys of getting married, becoming parents, traveling the world, and having so much career success. Coaches Linda Nash and Ray Fron are both in attendance this evening and sitting with us. Thank you both for coming tonight to celebrate and for everything you did for me during those formative college years. I'm grateful for the lessons you provided me and for all the fun experiences we had together as a team. My parents couldn't make it tonight, but they deserve the biggest thank you as they were my biggest fans. Hours spent in gymnasiums watching basketball games growing up, long travels, endless support, and encouragement. My parents never cared how many points I scored, how many shots I missed, or if I was the all-star. They emphasized the importance of playing hard, practicing hard, taking time to work on my weaknesses, being a good teammate, and doing all the small, unnoticed things that helped a team win. My teammates, my coaches, and my parents were the primary influences during my college career. I'm so grateful for all of the lessons, experiences, and memories as they have helped shape who I am today as a friend, wife, and mother. I'm truly humbled to join the Hall of Fame alongside the other past and present members who have accomplished so much. Thank you again for the opportunity in keeping my Aquinas memories alive and well. It's already been a fun evening, and I can't wait to hear the other nominees and their stories. As always, go Saints. Thank you.
Our next inductee tonight was a terrific men's tennis player from 2011 to 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Hendrick. It is pretty safe to say that Aaron Hendrick is the greatest tennis player in Aquinas College history. He came to Aquinas as a Michigan high school state champion to play for his dad, head coach Jerry Hendrick. Aaron played #1 singles and #1 doubles for all 4 years at Aquinas and immediately showed he belonged as he put forth an incredible freshman season. He was the Intercollegiate Tennis Association National Rookie of the Year, an honorable mention All-American, and the WAC Player of the Year in 2011. The next year as a sophomore, Aaron was a first-team All-American and repeated as the WAC Player of the Year. He followed up a terrific sophomore season by repeating as a first-team All-American in 2013 and concluded his career by being named the National Senior Player of the Year in 2014. Aaron also finished his career as a second-team All-American, the fourth straight year he earned All-American honors. He was AQ's only four-time ITA All-American in both singles and doubles play, where he was a three-time Midwest Regional Doubles finalist, named first-team All-WAC during all four seasons. Aaron was ranked as high as fifth nationally as a singles player and seventh as a doubles player. Perhaps more importantly, Aaron went 6 for 6 in WAC team championships. The Saints won the regular season title all four of the seasons, and AQ won 2 WAC tournaments in 2011 and 2012. There was no tournament in 2013 and 2014, spoiling the possibility of 3 or maybe 4 straight WAC tournament titles for the Saints. Like Jackie Brass-Penix before him, Aaron was named the top senior athlete at Aquinas, earning the prestigious Joseph G. Baker Memorial Award. And circling back to Aaron playing for his dad, Jerry, well, this is an achievement. Aaron and Jerry Hendrick are now the only father-son duo to be inducted into the Aquinas Athletic Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Aaron Hendrick.
Well, thanks everyone. When I was a student here, I had an on-campus job and I was a student ambassador. So every year we had to work one professional event. So every year I'd rush and sign up for this one, and this is my favorite event to work. I'd be the greeter, I would do the name tags, I'd show people to their seats. So to be up here on stage is a little different, but it feels really special. So I wanted to say thanks to Coach Nick for giving me the call, giving me the opportunity, and then also Terry Bocian. For those of you who don't know, I think it kind of, was broken in the announcement, but Terry hired my dad as the men's tennis coach right around the time I was born. So Terry's been around, I think, my whole life now. So he's been a great family friend and also a big supporter of myself and tennis here. So I want to say thanks especially to Terry. And as I mentioned, I grew up around Aquinas. If you look up there on the left, it's my left, there's a lot of years. I think I was a good luck charm for my dad because when I was 1 year old, he had his first WAC title. So I grew up around Aquinas. I'd go to the field house, the old field house, and watch the basketball teams play. I'd go to the tennis matches as a kid, and I would go to spring break with the men's tennis team and watch them play. So I think my dad kind of brainwashed me that Aquinas was the only school for me, and quite frankly, he was right. It was the spot for me. So I wanted to start a little before college. That's when I improved a lot as a tennis player. I had a really good high school group of guys, especially my junior and senior year, that really paved the way and helped me improve a lot. A couple came today as well. So I wanted to shout out Kirk, Judd, Kevin, my coaches, Matt, Paul Demowski. Those guys made tennis fun for me. I think in high school I had a lot of pressure, and those guys really made it fun and made it more enjoyable. So I wanted to give a special shout out to them. They made the transition to college easy, and my time here, I had a lot of great teammates that were actually Division I players. A lot of them had Division I opportunities and turned it down to play small college NAIA sports. So I think a lot came out today. I don't want to miss them all, but Kyle, Peter, Nick, Brendan, Donut, I'm sure I'm missing a lot more, but I played in the alumni golf outing, and so I was able to see a lot of them there as well, which is really special. On top of the college teammates, I had a really good group of college coaches over the years. I had Steve Green, who came out tonight. I had Steve Rose, our assistant. And I'm a little biased, but I had my dad as the head coach, who in my opinion is was the best tennis coach in the country at the time. He's the one who taught me the sport, who taught me how to play. Growing up, I wasn't a big kid. I'm still not that big. And my dad taught me how to win and how to succeed, with the gifts I have and with the talents, I've been given. And I still use that to this day in my professional career. And he taught me a lot of valuable lessons. So to play for him was truly special. Outside of tennis here, I was a math and accounting double major. I chose the two most boring things you could study in college, but I loved it. And one of my accounting professors came tonight, so shout out Kevin Cantley. I come back every year now, and I host the Debits versus Credits Jeopardy game show, Battle of the Nerds. So to come back every year and be a part of it is a ton of fun. And then for me, I had a really, really special teammate here, circling back, and that was Nick Artave. When I came in as a freshman, I actually came in with another freshman named Nick Artave, and we were doubles partners all 4 years. And he was a fantastic player. So whenever I played bad, Nick pulled me up, and whenever Nick played bad, I could hopefully pull him up as well. So I wanted to say thanks to Nick especially for putting up for me for 4 years. And also putting up with me with the alumni golf outing, because I was spraying them today left and right. Weren't going straight. And then to kind of conclude here, I want to say thanks to my family. My family has definitely sacrificed a lot over the years just for traveling, letting me play. I had tournaments growing up everywhere all over the country playing at. So my mom especially has been so important to me. And it's funny when you go to college, you feel like you're breaking away. You're getting away from your parents. And I remember my first college match. I show up, we're in the team van, we're driving away, and it's my mom, my dad, and our assistant coach. I'm like, all right, I guess this is it now. So to have my parents there. My mom never missed a match. She never missed a match. So tennis is a lonely sport. There aren't really a lot of people out there, especially in singles with you. So I always have my mom in the crowd and watching. Really meant a lot to me. So thanks a lot, Mom, for always being there. And as I mentioned, or as was said earlier, my dad was inducted into the Hall of Fame. I think it was like 7-8 years ago. And during that, there was someone who gave a speech, and I wrote it down. I don't want to get it wrong, but I wrote it down because it was so great. He said, I thank God for making me a saint. And I was thinking, well, that's really great. I don't want to take his words, so I'm going to twist it and say, I thank God for having me born a saint. So with that, I'll conclude, and thanks again, everyone.
Our third inductee tonight was a track and field standout for the Saints from 2003 to 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Kent. Simply put, Natalie Kent is one of the top all-around performers in Aquinas track and field history. 15 years after graduating from Aquinas, Natalie still ranks in the top 5 in 7 different events and is still the school record holder in a pair of categories. A 9-time All-American, she collected 3 All-American honors as a junior, placing 5th, and 6th nationally in the 400-meter hurdles and a pair of relay events. As impressive as that was, she was an even better as a senior. Natalie earned a whopping 5 All-American honors during her senior season, finishing 3rd overall in the 60-meter hurdles at the Indoor National Championships. To explain her versatility and received 5 indoor All-American honors throughout her career in 5 different events: the 55 and 60-meter hurdles, the 800 meters, and the 4x4 and 4x8 meter relays. To cap off a terrific career as a senior, Natalie went to Outdoor Nationals in 2007 and put together incredible performances, finishing as the national runner-up in both the 100 and 400-meter hurdles. Her times of 13.85 seconds in the 100-meter hurdles and 59.59 seconds in the 400-meter hurdles are still best marks in Aquinas history 15 years later. Interestingly enough, Natalie was also a recipient of the Sister Helen Louise Broger Memorial Award in 2007 as the top senior female student athlete, sharing the award that year with Jackie Bress-Penix. Lastly, Natalie is married to Derek Douglas. We know where this is going. Who was an All-American basketball player for the Saints and is a member of the 2006 Aquinas team that was inducted into the AQ Athletic Hall of Fame in 2016. However, tonight Natalie becomes the first individual Hall of Famer in the family. Sorry, Derek. Please join me in congratulating Natalie Kent.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for such a nice introduction. I would like to start by taking a moment to congratulate all of the inductees, both past and present and current, that are here tonight. I am truly honored to be surrounded by such an incredible group of athletes and members of the Aquinas College sports history. I'm sure most people that know me would say that for me, being inducted into the Hall of Fame is one of those big life moments that I've always dreamed about. In fact, it was just a few weeks ago when some of my coworkers and I were talking about life moments, specifically life-changing moments. Those moments that occur or decisions that you have to make when you get to a fork in a road that definitively change the course of your life. We laughed and joked about little things that happened that ended up making a big impact, like maybe getting cut from a basketball team and having to join a new sport. Or one of my coworkers joked about how he walked into his first engineering class at the University of Michigan, promptly turned around, walked out, and decided to pursue a pre-med major. But every one of us could easily identify one or two major life decisions that we had to make that changed the course of our lives. And when I reflect on that for myself, I can easily say that having and accepting the opportunity to run track at Aquinas is that life-changing decision for me. I know this opportunity really was only available to me because there were other people in my life who truly saw more and believed in me more than I believed in myself. It really started back when I was in high school with my high school track coach, Kathy Tallis. She convinced me to learn to hurdle one off season in the high school hallways after school. She took a freshman runner who literally cried after every single cross-country race and turned her into a successful high school athlete. Although never quite successful at cross-country and distance running, that's something I've still been working on over the past 23 years. And from there, it was because of Coach Wood that recruited me to Aquinas, and again, saw more at times in me than I even saw in myself. So without a doubt, having and accepting the opportunity to attend Aquinas is one of the best decisions I've ever made. Not only did I have an incredible academic and athletic experience, but I also met my husband, Derek, who is here tonight. Despite my annoyance of Derek always finding a way to win and beat me in everything he does, I am incredibly grateful he's a part of my life. And now we really are teammates together as we try to navigate through life in our mid to late 30s. Whether it's trying to understand our two wonderful but very opinionated and very stubborn daughters, Maya and Claire, or if it's sympathizing and or maybe laughing at each other as we hobble through the house with new aches and pains after one of us goes for a run or plays a few games of basketball. So with that, I'd like to take a couple of moments to express my gratitude to those who supported me at my time here at Aquinas. I'd first like to start with my group of friends. I am so lucky to have such a wonderful group of friends. Some were teammates, others were roommates, but regardless, they became this group of people that knew the good and the bad and supported me no matter what. And some of them are here tonight, Amy, Hillary, and Joyce. I cannot thank you enough for the endless hours of hair braiding, the bomb diggity pump-up notes, the life talks, the traveling through the state adventures, and the venting sessions. I think that over the past few years, I've really learned to realize how important friendships are, and I'm really lucky to have the best of them. I also want to say the biggest thank you to my parents, Dennis and Rose, who are also here tonight. I can only hope that I become parents like you, those who encourage but don't push, encourage you to work hard, but ultimately support you no matter what. From endless road trips to track meets, from sitting in rain, snow, sleet, tornadoes to watch a 15-second race, from making hundreds of ham and cheese sandwiches, I cannot begin to express the appreciation I have for what both of you have given me. And with the ultimate gratitude, I know that I would never be here without the teammates and coaches that I had at Aquinas. When you spend multiple hours sitting on the team bus, watching seasons of Arrested Development, eating post-track meet meals at Ponderosa, or working together as a relay team to become an All-American, you really form a bond that just can't be broken. I'm so grateful for Coach Woj, who's here tonight. He really has had to see me struggle, learn, and finally become successful as a runner, starting way back in high school. Woj has this calming way about him that puts everything into perspective, but then motivates you to go out and do your best. And it's pretty incredible that he always just knows where someone is struggling the most in a race and is always there to motivate you, cheer you on, and push you to the finish line. And I know that I owe a lot of my success to Coach Dave Wood, who's the head track coach while I was here. He spent a countless amount of hours trying to teach me to become a coordinated runner, the real way to get out of a starting block, and also encouraged me in every way. I really can't begin to express my appreciation that he gave me for the opportunity to be a part of the track team and the time that he invested in coaching me. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to Coach Terry Bocian, the Aquinas College Athletic Department, and everyone that's here tonight. I hope you all have a good night. Go Saints.
Our next inductee tonight was a star women's soccer player for AQ from 1997 to the year 2000. Ladies and gentlemen, Amy Ponzi. Amy Ponzi is one of the top offensive players to ever play soccer at Aquinas on either the men's or women's side. She concluded her playing career in 2000 and still ranks first in school history in 15 single season or career categories. 22 years later, Amy is still the AQ career leader, holding in goals per game, assists per game, points per game, shots per game, and shots on goal per game. She is the only Aquinas player to ever average more than 1 goal per game throughout her career, and her 2.7 total points per game is nearly a full point higher than second place in the same category. An All-American in both 1999 and 2000, Amy finished her career with 41 goals and 100 total points. Both marks stood as a school record for 21 years until they were topped last season by a current Aquinas player. Amy's 1999 campaign was one for the ages. She scored 25 goals, dished out 12 assists, and recorded 62 total points. For comparison, no other AQ player has ever scored more than 44 points in a season. She tallied 7 game-winning goals that season and still holds 10 single-season records from that year, including goals, points, and assists per game. In 2000, Amy repeated as an All-American by following up with 18 goals, which is still the 4th most in a season in AQ history. Her outstanding 1999 season was the main factor for an incredible Aquinas team that scored 71 goals, averaged more than 3 goals per game, and ranks first or second in school history in 11 categories. The offensive catalyst for those high-powered Saints teams Let's give it up for Amy Ponzi.
Hello, everyone. As I stand here tonight and wipe the sweat off my forehead, it reminds me of my AQ soccer days. I'm not sprinting around the field trying to score goals. I'm speaking in front of a room full of adults. Now, let me tell you that I've been teaching early childhood special ed for Northview for 22 years. Put me in front of small children, I can talk all day. Speaking in front of adults, not my favorite thing. With that said, I'm honored, I feel blessed, very thankful for this award. I knew that when I was in high school that I wanted to continue playing soccer in college. I went to visit a D1 school and knew immediately that the class sizes were just too large. Thankfully, I decided to check out Aquinas. The beautiful campus, friendly staff, students made my decision easy. This was the school for me. So with that said, Aquinas College, thank you for providing an opportunity, an environment that is conducive to all learning types, providing the necessary supports for academics, which allowed me to further my soccer endeavors. Thank you to my parents, Dean and Mary, who provided me with this opportunity to attend Aquinas. You've always supported me both on and off the field, never missing a soccer game from age 5 to 22. Even returning to watch me in my first alumni game, which unfortunately was short-lived because I tore my ACL. You were and continue to be my biggest supporters and fans. Thank you to my coach at the time, Shannon Bissett, who had faith in me, coached me, had the same passion and drive and love for soccer as I did. Thank you to all my teammates during my 4-year collegiate play. I wouldn't be receiving this award without you. Lastly, thank you to my family and friends here tonight, traveling near and far to celebrate in this special event. You mean the world to me. Thank you.
We go from one soccer all-time leading scorer to another. Our next inductee played from 2007 to 2010. Ladies and gentlemen, Gio Pantoa. No one who has ever played soccer at Aquinas College has scored more goals than Gio Pantoa. Similar to Amy Ponzi, Gio still ranks first or second in AQ men's soccer history in 12 different categories. And it's been 12 years since he last played. He was a dominant offensive player for the Saints and had a knack for finding the back of the net. Gio totaled a school record 138 points in his career. Only 2 other Aquinas players have ever eclipsed 100 points. His 61 goals are also a school record. Second place in that category, scored 46 goals. Gio also netted 25 game-winning goals in his career, which is nearly double the second place mark in AQ history. In his 4 seasons, Gio scored 14, 18, 13, and 16 goals and led the Saints in scoring in each of the final 3 seasons. During both his junior and senior seasons, he scored 8 game-winning goals in each year. Eye-popping numbers like that were why Gio was named the WAC Offensive Player of the Year in both 2009 and 2010. In those 2 seasons, Aquinas went 28, 9, and 2 overall and lost just 3 of their 18 WAC contests. He also showed that he could pass the ball, finishing his career with 16 assists, just a few assists shy of ranking as the Aquinas top 5 in that category as well. Gio was named a first-team All-WAC selection 3 times in his career and was tabbed as an NAIA Honorable Mention All-American in 2010. During all 4 seasons of his career, Gio and the Saints won a WAC championship. As a freshman in 2007, AQ won the WAC tournament title, and the Saints followed up with back-to-back regular season championships in his final 3 seasons. Please give a big round of applause for Gio Pantoa.
Good evening, everyone. All right, I'm going to try to make this quick for all of us. I know we're getting towards the end. For those that know me really well, you guys know that public speaking is not my forte, so like I said, I'm trying to make this quick. First off, I want to congratulate all the other inductees, past and present. You guys all have done great things to your sport, and you guys should be proud of all your accomplishments. Thank you to Aquinas College and the Terry Bocian Athletic Hall of Fame for the induction. I'm honored to be here surrounded by not only these great athletes, but people as well. Throughout my career here at Aquinas College, there has been so many people who have contributed to my success as a player and as a student. We would be here all night if I had to thank every single one of them, so I'm not going to make you sit through all that. Most of you know that soccer is a team sport, so all my success is because of all my teammates. We played well together as a team. We either won or lose, and we're a team. A big thank you to all of those guys, especially those that are here tonight, for their hard work during practices to make each and every one a better player on the field. Also, my coaches, there's a long list, and I want to thank each and every one of them, including the coaching staff, athletic training staff, and all the other during club, high school, and college. Thank you for trusting me during each and every season and allowing me to be in a position to be successful. And even bigger things to my family. It all started back before we were all born. My parents made a tough decision to move from Mexico to the U.S. They both sacrificed so much by working in the fields to give us all a better life and a better future. I'm so grateful they did that. I'm also proud to be considered first generation in my family and to graduate with a bachelor's degree. My dad introduced me. My dad introduced me to the sport at a young age, so I want to thank him for that. I remember going to his soccer games, and I just fell in love with the game. I have 2 young kids, and I hope they follow my footsteps and love the game as much as I do. But if they choose a different path, we'll still support them. But I hope they choose soccer. Thank you to my 3 sisters who are here tonight. They've been attending my club soccer games, through a young age and all the way through college, even if my parents forced them to. I want to thank them. A big thank you to my wife who is here, and she's allowed me to play even now, and I know that's to me that's very important, not just physically but mentally. So thank you. Also, everybody else that came here tonight to support me. Finally, my mom has always been there, no matter what the circumstance. She will do anything for her family. A quick story. So my mom has always had a in-home daycare for, 20, 25 years. And a lot of our games would be in the afternoon around 3 p.m. And the only way to get there is she would pack up the kids, put them in the car, and bring them all to the game and have the parents pick them up at the game in order for her to support me and be there for me. So I want to thank her for that. Not many mothers would go through all that trouble to do that, so thanks, Mom. She is a huge inspiration to myself and my family. I can't thank you enough for all your support. Thank you all.
Our final individual inductee tonight has spent almost 40 years working at Aquinas athletic events, starting way back in 1984. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Dean. Where do you begin with the great Mike Dean? His list of responsibilities and tasks working for Aquinas Athletics is a mouthful in itself. Since 1984, he has served as a statistician, historian, official scorekeeper, public address announcer, and as we saw tonight, national anthem performer, and harmonica extraordinaire. If you played a sport at Aquinas over the past 38 years, there's a good chance that Mike has worked your game in some capacity. He was a fixture at basketball, volleyball, baseball, softball, soccer, and hockey games, as well as organized and maintaining record books, updating statistics, and assisting the sports information department with data entry, in-game and post-game statistics for most teams. For several Aquinas sports over the years, Mike would serve as the public address announcer, play the harmonica for the national anthem, and then keep the official statistics. To say he wore multiple hats in his role would be a massive understatement. Known affectionately to others as Doc, Mike wasn't just an extremely valuable asset only to Aquinas athletics. Since the West Michigan Whitecaps began play in 1994, Mike served as the official scorekeeper, a job he held for more than 25 years. His love for baseball is apparent, as he was also a scorer and statistician for the National Baseball Congress for nearly 4 decades as well. Mike is also most certainly the only person in the room to have his own bobblehead night. Anybody? I didn't think so. Which occurred during the 2015 season for the West Michigan Whitecaps. In a fan vote, Mike finished first out of the 5 candidates, capturing 53% of the vote to earn the bobblehead by defeating Frankie the Swimming Pig, an older and lesser known Whitecaps mascot. Despite moving to Arizona 2 years ago, Mike continues to work for Aquinas from afar, as he still helps the department with statistical assistance and record keeping, and offers his incredible historical memory, knowledge, and perspective. He also serves in a similar role for the WAC, assisting the conference SID in the same way. Mike is now technically a 2-time Aquinas Athletic Hall of Famer, as he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2015 as the statistician of the historic 84-85 men's basketball team. However, now Mike is an individual Athletic Hall of Fame inductee. As I mentioned earlier, I sat at the scorer's table next to Mike for many times over the years at Aquinas basketball and volleyball games. When I was asked to MC this tonight, I was very excited to learn that Mike was one of the inductees this year. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him up, Mr. Mike Dean. Thank you.
Evening, Saint fans and friends and family. I'm honored to be here again for the second time, and surprised and humbled and blessed to be part of the Aquinas Athletic Hall of Fame family, and wanted to first send my congratulations to my fellow inductee, individual, and team coming up. I guess I have to say that my greatest debt is owed to Terry Bocian, who saw me scoring, announcing, and playing harmonica at the National Baseball Congress State Tournament in '83 and '84 and asked me if I had a job, which I didn't, since finding work as a scientific statistician wasn't bearing fruit. So the avenue of sports statistics did open up. And I want to thank Bo for his patience in putting up with me for these 38 years. There's a lot of players that I've indirectly impacted through my scoring and statistical work. And there's also a lot of coaches who have also impacted me. And I just want to run through a few names of them just because they're more than I could recall in my 38 years. This is my 38th year, started in the fall of '84, '85, which was a definite turning point in my world. I did mention Terry Bocian as a baseball coach in '80, and who got me started here. Other people who have made a big impact in my world, as well as myself making a big positive impact in their world, includes Patty Tibaldi and Linda Nash, Brian Morris in women's basketball, Tom Gunn and Dan Pupil in golf, Joe Veal, Roger Gardner in men's soccer, Shannon Bissett in women's soccer. Also don't want to forget Ray Fron in women's basketball as well. In the basketball side, Larry Randall, Rick Albro, Dave Hammer, and Ryan Betoya. And shout out to Al Owens, who worked with me as a PA announcer. Also working under some pretty good people and assisting them. Rick Albro was one. Mike Wojciechowski, definitely another. Damon Baukamp is another. And lastly, and most recently, DJ Foster. Alex Eisen, I welcome you to Aquinas, and I'll work with you from afar. Baseball has been my favorite sport, and I guess it's appropriate that I save my last acknowledgments for baseball, in addition to Terry Bocian, Doug Greenslate. Softball-wise, Mary Takis, definitely. Sue Ida, Brian Morris, and a big debt also to Crystal Laska. And hockey-wise, got in on the ground floor. Mark Van Vliet, I jokingly refer to him as the godfather of Aquinas hockey, and Jordan Promoda. So I am thankful that I have been able to contribute a lot in my scoring and record keeping, and thankful that I am able to continue. During baseball games, one of the favorite things I like to do, in addition to playing the national anthem, was something during the 5th innings of scheduled 7-inning games, which, since it's not 9 innings, can't be the 7th inning, is to do Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And I'd like to close my time here by asking you to stand up and join me in a round and take me out to the ball game. Thank you, everybody. And today definitely has been a great day/night to be a Saint.
I'm going to go off script here for 1 second. Mike has agreed to join us tomorrow. We have a home volleyball match tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And Mike's flight is until 5 o'clock. So Mike is going to be performing the national anthem for tomorrow afternoon's 1 o'clock match against Lords here at Sturris. So if any of you are still around and want to hear Mike play again, come on out for 1 o'clock match. One final thing about Mike, it's been kind of funny. Since he's left and gone to Arizona, it's amazing to me, and I mean that sincerely, how many officials in both basketball and volleyball come up to me at the scorer's table and are like, "Where's Mike Dean? We want to hear the national anthem." He has made such an impact on all those people, so well done, Mike. For our last inductee this evening, we stay in the same decade that Mike Dean began working for Aquinas. We go back 42 years as we now honor the 1980 Aquinas men's soccer team. The 1980 men's soccer team was the team that really laid the foundation for the future men's soccer teams here at Aquinas. The Saints were led by Doug Mello, who became the head coach at AQ in 1978 at just 20 years old. He was offered the coaching position 1 month after finishing his playing career as a Saint and still as a student at the college. As we now know, it was clearly the right decision. The 1980 team was the first Aquinas team to win the NAIA District 23 championship, which perhaps was more accurately known back then as the state championship. At that time, Spring Arbor was the team to beat in Michigan, and starting around the 1980 season, Aquinas and Spring Arbor formed quite an in-state rivalry. After making it through the regular season, AQ faced off with Spring Arbor for the right to advance to the national tournament. Spring Arbor took control early with a 1-0 lead just 6 minutes into the game, but freshman Bobby Paul tied the game at 1-1 only 10 minutes later. That goal for Paul was his 22nd of the season and put him in the top 5 goal scorers in the country. Aquinas would take the lead in the first half when Ken Tolman put the Saints in front by scoring on a header off a feed from Mike Hagan. That goal and 14 saves from goalie Jamie Watson would be enough for Aquinas to close out a 2-1 upset victory over Spring Arbor, the top team in the region and one of the best teams in the country that year. As District 23 champions, AQ represented the state of Michigan by going to Berea, Kentucky to take on Berea College in the opening round of the national tournament. Bobby Paul again scored for the Saints, but it would be the only goal for Aquinas as Berea advanced in the tournament with a 2-1 victory, ending AQ's magical season. In addition to Bobby Paul's 23 goals, Mike Hagan scored 16 goals and would go on to eventually break Coach Mello's goal-scoring record. The 1980 Saints team finished the year averaging nearly 4 goals per game, which ranks them the team 7th in the country. Aquinas outscored its opponents 63-30 that season, finishing the year with a 9-7-1 overall record. The 1980 team was the benchmark team for Aquinas soccer and was filled with talented players. Both Mike Hagan and Mauro Carapuccio were inducted into the Aquinas Athletic Hall of Fame in 2005. As Carapuccio was the first ever All-American in program history, goalkeeper Jamie Watson would be named the All-Midwest Region team the following year. Coach Mello was, and still is, the youngest head coach in the history of collegiate sports at any level, which makes sense. How could anybody be a head coach younger than 20 years old? He has coached in more than 1,200 soccer games over his career, is approaching 800 career victories, and is currently the head coach at Carroll College in Montana. Coach Mello, who will speak here shortly, is leaving early tomorrow morning to head back to Eugene, Oregon for his team's road game against Bushnell. Thank you for taking time during your season to be here tonight, Coach Mello. And how cool is it that of the 19 members of the team, 14 of them are here with us this evening, 42 years after they last played together. That's 12 players, 2 coaches, and Saints from 5 different states joining us for this ceremony tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the 1980 men's soccer team.
Well, first of all, I just want to say I will not be playing any harmonica solos, so if you're disappointed, oh well. Congrats and kudos to all the inductees. Very honored that our squad is here with you all to celebrate. I'd also like to thank President Cordova, Terry Bocian, DJ and his staff, Nick, the athletic director, for getting everything together. Mike Hagan, who was a huge, here he is right here, a huge help in getting this group together. Don't break anything. I want to start off with a quote. It's the little things that make big things possible. Right? That's something that I've instilled in my team for a number of years. 44 to be precise. All right, I've got to be honest. This afternoon, Tommy Heffernan's wife, Lisa, who's right in front here, said to me, hey, look on the wall of the Fairfield Inn. There's a really cool quote. And that was it. So I'm using it. Let's just say that. I'm using it. But it does make sense because this squad here was all about working hard, getting results, and when we did beat Spring Arbor, they were actually the #1 team in the nation and they were undefeated. And that's quite an accomplishment when you think about it. Pulled in on Wednesday. I'm missing a game tonight. Our team's playing in Salem, Oregon in about an hour and a half, so after the ceremonies, I'll be watching on the internet. Leave tomorrow to catch up with them and play a match in Eugene. But did have a couple days of fun. First day in with a couple of our players, we went to the Beltline Bar and had a wet burrito. You gotta do that. You gotta do that. Last night, after a nice meal at Vitale's, some of us got over to Yesterdog quick enough to have some Yesterdog. So there we go. Life's good. Also, Coach Luke, are you still? Yeah. If you want to use a couple of these guys in the kazoo game tomorrow, just talk to them after this. A couple of them are still ready. A couple of them maybe not, but anyways. This team, when we won in 1980, was only the second year of my tenure that I was the coach. And we played a lot of tough matches through the season, but we really did all come together against the Spring Arbor team to get to the national tournament. They were, as I mentioned, were undefeated, and we gave a good effort at Berea, but fair enough. We didn't win. Of the players that are here right now, we have 13 players and an assistant coach. We did have 3 players pass away, Dave Wolfbauer, Kenny Tolman, and Jerry Richmond. God bless them, they were all good players, nice guys. We have 2 players who are overseas traveling that weren't able to make it, but wanted to, Bobby Paul and Joe Kaloje. And Mark Steinkamp called in just a little while ago. He was coming from some festivity somewhere else and couldn't make it. But we're happy to have the big group here. And I'd like to just take my time to bring up each of them for just a second
and just so you know who they are. All right. First of all, we have Steve. His nickname was Spock Coward. He was a center back. And I used to write up at the end of each season a roast for all the players that we would, believe me, they were, I was going to read them all off, but we don't have time. But so I just picked one kind of politically correct one that we could talk about. So Steve was voted the most sane player on the team. So Steve, why don't you just come up so they know who you are? Who's your buddy, Steve? We had Mike Body Check Hamill. He was an outside defender, and he was known for his bone-crushing tackles. Brian Devo Eby, he was our goalkeeper, and he would continually say at matches, "It's the Cinderella story." We loved it. He was our goalkeeper. Brian. We had Mike Hollywood Holleran, a local player. He was an outside defender. And I'm going to let Mike just quickly tell a story that affected us throughout our career here, as he's a deacon now. And he always led our team prayer before we went out on the pitch. Come on, get over here. Tell them what you do. My brother.
Come over here, tell a story.
Yeah, tell a story. I told him I was going to call him up. I don't know what this is all about.
He warned me.
Right.
I graduated from Grand Rapids Catholic Central High School, and obviously part of our tradition was always to have a prayer before the games, and so we tried to continue that tradition here at Aquinas with Coach's team, and we'd always conclude with Mary, Queen of Victory, and the answer would be everybody chime in and say, "Pray for us." But this group of guys here, they started the tradition. I'd say Mary, Queen of Victory, and they would say, "Play for us." Not, yeah, there you go, play for us. So that was the fun part of the prayer.
Dougie Camper. He was a midfielder for us. Where's Dougie? There he is. There we go. He experienced an orgasm during the Albion match. He scored a 35-yard screamer into the upper corner, and I never seen a guy in 44 years jump around and scream and run as much as he did, but it was a worthwhile celebration. We won the game, and he had a big game winner, so thanks, Dougie. Jamie Carl Watson, goalkeeper. He had a certain air about him. That was one of the things we always said about him. He was the only guy driving in a van that wouldn't have his head out the window. But he was a great goalkeeper and a wonderful guy. We called him Carl because of Caddyshack. The one guy, Carl, the groundskeeper, that's kind of how he was in real life. So it was great. Tom, Big Sexy Heffernan. He was a center midfielder, and he was a conductor of our AQ Indian Run band. He would be the guy that led them in the sing. We had quite a choir of singers, and as they ran, they sang, and it was quite entertaining. But Tommy's real nickname was Midget, but he told me to jazz it up tonight. Like Big Sexy, I don't know. But anyway. Mike Hetty Hagan. He was called that because in the Grand Rapids Press, he scored a lot of goals on corner kicks in the air. Probably second all-time leading scorer to our inductee. And he was forward winger for us, faster than lightning, but his forte was he liked to be offsides by 20 yards. He either got the ball, beat somebody and scored, or disappointingly, he was offsides. But, and Mike did a great job finding almost all these players with the help of DJ. So where is he? Thank you. Mark Oscar Litweiler. He was a midfielder for us, and he was the team den mother. He was the guy who told the freshmen classes to take, girls to date, whatever it took. He was the guy who watched over them pretty much for their 4 years here. He was an assistant for me as well, and he's going to speak a little bit for the team in just a few minutes. But he was another one along with Mike Hagan who found a lot of the players to come. So where's my man? That boy lit. Steve, 45 caliber kid, Garbarino. He was a center midfielder. I will not explain that nickname. You can guess. He played everywhere. He played center mid, he played defender, he was an all-region player for us. He even played goalie when our goalie got injured, when Jamie was injured. And he was our team psycho. I mean, he still holds the Aquinas record for we were going to Albion in 2 vans. He passed 13 cars in a row in the school van. And it wasn't like one at a time. He passed 13 of them on a 2-lane, and he was the only Aquinas player in any sport banned from driving the vans by me. So Steve, where's my? Well, I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Next we have, Mauro Cruel Shoes Caparuccio. He was our sweeper, All-American. What do you got for Mauro here? Oh, his father, Big Bananas, Cement Overcoat Company, had a lot to do with his being named team captain for 3 years. So here he is. Also, his family, when he was named an All-American, they didn't believe him. They had to call me up and literally ask, is this true? I'm like, well, yeah, you know. They threw a big party. So Mauro, where's Mauro? We do have a player who played for me and then was an assistant coach as well as Mark Litweiler. It was Stu Elvis Borthwick. You're not going to see the Elvis part of him now as at an older age, but he used to look a bit like Elvis, all right? He was famous for his fine soccer skills and poor taste in women. So here's Elvis. Where is he? Just to follow up, and then we'll get Mark up here. I've been a collegiate head coach now for 44 years. This team, what makes them special is both the guys in the squad collectively. They were very talented, but the real crux of the matter was the fact that they embraced the challenge. And we had a couple matches that were that way because we were a very average team prior to the squad. And we didn't always have maybe the best team on the pitch, but as far as them knowing their role as players, which I think is very important, is huge. And we would go out and out-team the other squad. And that, when I look back, and I even think of all my teams that I've had that have, thank God, been quite talented, this team especially stands out for their gumption of not ever giving up and playing a hard match, a fair match. And I love these guys dearly. It's so wonderful to see such a big crew here. And I just want to thank everybody. The Aquinas family is wonderful. The facilities are great. Everybody's been fantastic. I miss the place dearly. We did come back as a group in 2005, but I want to make sure that we come back more often. This is too long with such wonderful people. And thank you all for listening. I'd like to introduce Mark Litweiler right now, who's going to talk for the team. Thank you.
Well, I think Coach Mello took up most of my time. I was going to give a prepared talk, but I think we're just going to wing it. But one thing I first noticed when we walked in tonight was that banner with the 1980 soccer team on it. And we're very proud of that, and we're very proud and humbled to be here tonight. And congratulate all the other inductees. And one thing I wanted to mention also was about Coach Bocian. And I know everyone has been singing his praises tonight, which are much deserved. And we couldn't have done this without Coach Bocian and his support, but also what he meant to so many people. Me personally, he was a mentor. The lessons I learned from Coach Bocian helped me through life. And I'm so proud and humbled to be in the Terry Bocian Hall of Fame. Thank you. Some people wonder why I'm up here speaking for the players. I'm the only one who played with Coach Mello did. And our first year that I played, we only won 2 games. I played a lot. And then Coach Mello took over, and we got better and better and better. And I played less and less and less. So I think there might have been a connection there. But Coach Mello took over at a young age, had a vision, and he changed the culture of soccer at Aquinas. We're no longer a laughingstock. Teams didn't want to play us because they didn't want to lose to us. But Coach started having us play indoor soccer, scrimmages in the spring, making sure we played on summer teams. And everything we are, the fact that we're here right now, is due to Doug Mello. I would go over individually all the team, all the guys, but I think Coach Mello already did that, so I'm going to pass on that. But the reason why we're here, it is the reason why we're here, is when we beat Spring Arbor. And that game, to us, being in 1980, was the same as the USA hockey team beating the Russians. It was that big of an upset, and we celebrated just as hard. Also, the great thing about Aquinas, the thing I remember the most, or the thing I still love about it, is that we are a family. And part of my family's back there right now. I think Sherm, Witt, Getter, Sadler, Nick, Orlo, Ralph, Waite, all those guys all played sports at Aquinas. And I've been graduated 40 years ago, but we're still friends. We still stay in touch. And that's the special thing about Aquinas. Also, all these guys back here, I'm in contact with majority of them all the time. And I like to say neither time nor distance can break the bonds of friendship that we share. Thank you very much.
Group photo. Can I have you? I want 6 of you to come down here, and then the rest to line up the front of the stage, if you could, please.
Where do you want the short guys?
Short guys? This way. Just 6. Give me 6. So we got 2. I need 2 more. Yep, there you go. Good. And then the rest just line up against the stage here, please. Get the fuck off the stage. We're good.
Okay, Mike's live.
You want to grab my plaque?
Yeah, we'll get it. Oh, you want it right now? Oh, okay.
I'm going to hold it in front of Tom's face.
I want to go home, do this.
Me?
Oh. Got a block in here. It's kind of good though.
All right, great. Guys, take the picture. It's our bedtime, for God's sake. We're all fucking old. All right, boys. I didn't even think about it tonight. Let's let them all go home.
Okay, folks, 3 takeaways while they're going back to their seats. 1, wrap it around your minds that Coach Mello was their age when he coached them. 2, all the credit in the world to Coach Bo for not letting them have any overnight road trips, because I cannot imagine what that would be like. And 3, I am now moving to Montana because I think Coach Mello would be great to hang out with. We still have a couple quick housekeeping items before we bring back Nick Davidson to wrap things up for tonight's festivities. If anybody has won a silent auction item and received a notification on their phone, please stop at the check-in table and pick up your winning item. If you have any questions, please stop by and check with Liz Lee on your way out tonight. And a reminder that the online auction will close tonight at midnight, so you have a few hours left to place your bids. Also, please leave your name tag holders either on your table before exiting or at the front desk on your way out of the building. Lastly, we'd also like to ask that this year's inductees, the individual and men's soccer team, please come up to the stage as we dismiss, as we'd like to take a few more photographs. And finally this evening, please welcome up again Nick Davidson, who will close out tonight's festivities.
All right, as the night comes to a close, we hope you all had a wonderful evening and another time, spend a little more time reminiscing with your former teammates, friends, and other supporters of Aquinas. I just want to take a quick second to extend a few thank yous. One big thank you, particularly to DJ Foster, who has done a tremendous job helping organize this event and getting all of our award recipients to the event tonight. So thank you, DJ, for all your hard work. Also, a quick special thank you to our athletic coaches and staff, the advancement office, our event staff, and creative dining for our meal tonight. We really appreciate all the hard work that's gone into tonight. So thank you. This is a yearly event, and we hope to see you all next year, as well as induct another great Hall of Fame class. Your support for our athletic department is crucial to the success of our programs, our coaches, and our student athletes. Thank you all for coming, and have a great night. Go Saints.